Good morning, family. I am up and about. I decided to bring you along. I am getting ready to put a loaf of bread in the oven. See it over there? It has risen. But in addition to that, I'm going to make some banana bread. And I've made banana bread before, but I have made it with all-purpose flour. So today I'm gonna try it with freshly milled. Now I'm kind of mixing two recipes. So the first time I made this banana bread, this was before I started milling my own flour, and the recipes are basically the same with the exception of the amount of flour that's being used. So because I just made bread, I had some leftover, maybe about a cup and a half of hard white and hard red wheat. So what I did is I milled a cup of soft white wheat, and I just mixed all that together. So I'm going to make this loaf of bread with that mixture. I don't know how it's going to come out, but we shall find out together. So here's the wheat here. And again, it's just a mixture of hard white, hard red, and soft white. Now, I'm going to go with the recipe as far as the flour amount. That's for the freshly milled, and it calls for 2.5 cups. First, this is what I'm going to do, guys. I'm going to go ahead and put my liquid ingredients, and these are just frozen bananas that I had thawed out, and I just squished them a little bit, and I'm going to put those in here. So that's about 2 bananas, more than enough. Okay, I'm going to use 2 eggs. And these are eggs for my chickens. Just gonna clean those off real quick. And get those in there. Beautiful. And this one is really large. It's a big one. Beautiful. So those are my 2 eggs. Now, one of the recipes calls for either or butter or olive oil, but because I didn't feel like melting olive oil, I'm just going to use, melting butter, I'm just going to use the olive oil. And then the sweetener, which I should have put this in before. And this is just honey. And I'm going to mix honey with brown sugar. And it may seem like a lot of sweetener, but I'll find out. I should have measured this out before. So this is, this is about a 1/4 cup of honey. And I'm going to go a little bit farther with this. Put that honey in there. And it comes out easily because I had the oil in there before. I had a taste for some banana bread, but I don't feel like leaving the house because I will go out and go to Sprouts and get a pack of 4 banana muffins for about $6. So I figured I could just make my own easily and still have some left over. Okay. And I'm just going to do, that's about 2 tablespoons of vanilla. And I want to go one further, and I want to put a little bit of maple syrup in here. So it's probably going to be about 2 tablespoons of maple syrup. And I'm just going to blend this, okay? Put my lid on. I'm going to just bring you guys in here just so you can see what it looks like in there. Can you see that? I got to get better at this filming. Plus my lighting in my kitchen is very, very dark. It's always dark, but more so since the seasons change. So in there, I have my eggs, bananas, oil, vanilla, honey, and 2 tablespoons of maple syrup. And I'm just going to blend that. Oh, it might help if I plug this in. Okay, so I already have my brown sugar. I have my brown sugar, I'm sorry, not brown sugar, baking soda, baking powder, and salt already pre-measured in these little silicone muffin things. So I'm just going to put this in here. So I already put 1 cup of flour in. I'm going to just make sure I blend this evenly. And this is sea salt. So there's 1 cup of flour. This is 1 cup of flour with the baking soda and baking powder and salt on top. That's cup number 2. And then 1/2 cup. So in here, what I have, if you watch my video about the cinnamon rolls, this is just leftover brown sugar and cinnamon. And I think I'm going to put a couple of tablespoons of that in there. Teaspoon. And we'll see how that turns out. I'm thinking delicious. Okay. So my wet ingredients are blended. I think I might can blend them a little more, but I like having or tasting those bits of bananas in my banana bread. So alright, so I just got a whisk and I'm just going to blend this stuff up. Alright, then it's going to be hopefully this easy. While my bread is baking, I can have a dessert or something to snack on. I'm trying to cut back on my sweets. because I need to make some health changes. Okay, so again, in here we have the wet mixture. Okay, and I'm just going to add this slowly, and it looks nice and brown. And we want a batter, nothing like the bread. So we want a nice little wet batter, just like you would cake, but not as loose. Gonna let that mix up, and it's mixing rather nicely. And I don't know if you can hear that, but the more I added the flour, you can hear the sound of the mixture. Okay, so it looks absolutely beautiful, and I'm just knocking off the excess flour. Okay, I'm going to take this off right there. Put that over here. That's interesting. Okay. So, the batter is looking good. So I'm just going to bring you over here. Can you guys see in there? See all that? See how nice and dark it is from the brown sugar and cinnamon and honey. I should put some nuts in there, but I'm not. I'm just going to go with what I have. Now, as I put my spoon down in there on my spatula, I can see that I have some dry flour spots. So I'm going to turn this on and mix it a little while longer to get it incorporated, maybe for another couple of minutes, a minute or so. Then I'll bring you guys back. Alright, so the batter finished mixing. I'm going to put it in my little silicone mold, and I hope it's enough. If not, I do have a mini muffin tin, and I will use that, but I really don't want to use a lot of stuff. So once this is, I might need to, oh. So this is what we have. I'm going to go ahead. This batter is pretty thick. I'm not going to say thick, but it is nice, and I think it might be really dense. And simply because I've used the hard wheat, but we'll see. We will see. So we can get this in the mold. And this is just for easy removal out of the pan. I like this silicone pan, and it's easy to use. I wish I would have got another spatula, a silicone spatula, but I'm going to work with what I have right now to help get this out. Okay. Okey-dokey, looking so good. Smells good. Not too cinnamony, but it still smells good. I want to get all of this batter out of here. I don't know if you guys can see that. There we go. Get you out of there. And what I'm finding on my journey to self-sufficiency, and I guess basically being healthier, because you can control what's in your food. So I am finding that the everyday foods that we love are absolutely so easy to make, guys. And with some preparation, and once you start doing it more than once, you figure out a method. You get your stuff set up. I'm not sure what time it is, but I think I got out the bed about 8 o'clock, and I immediately started getting my stuff together to make bread, because I knew I was going to make bread. Okay, and I knew that I wanted to make the banana bread, so I took the frozen bananas out last night and sat them in the refrigerator side, and they were already thawed out and ready to go. So once I got my bread batter together, I cleaned out my bowl and I got my ingredients ready for this bread. I didn't have to leave my house, and I've gotten so much done editing and uploading other YouTube videos. So put this over here. This is just, oh, wait a minute. I feel like it's just so much in there. Let me see. So much in there that I do not want to lose. Let's see. Okay. Alright. So we're going to get that in there. Alright. So guys, this is the batter. Alright, it comes up a quarter, I guess about a quarter or a third of the way of the pan. And I don't know what size loaf pan this is, but I'm going to put this in with the bread. The bread has already been in about 15 minutes, and another 20 minutes or so it should be ready. So I'm going to heat up my coffee, get my bread in, and I have it on this cookie sheet because of the silicone. It's not firm, so it doesn't, it droops when you lift it up. So I'm going to go ahead and get this in the oven. Alright. Along with the bread. And I will put this on the top rack for now. And my bread is almost ready. I'm not going to say almost ready, but see it in there? It's just about good. So I'll check the time on it, and then I'll switch it. Okay, so I'll bring you guys back. It's been 15 minutes since I put the bread in the oven, and it's been about 30 minutes since 15 minutes since I put the banana bread in the oven, and 30 minutes since I put the loaf of bread. So I'm just going to check the loaf of bread. Oh, that banana bread has risen nicely. So I can get the bread, the loaf of bread out, and put the banana bread on the bottom. Alright, so that's that. And I'm just going to check the temperature on this. Oh, it's ready. So internal temperature is over 190, which is great. I'm gonna go ahead and move this down on the bottom rack. It has risen. I don't know if you guys can see that. It looks good. So I'm gonna give it about another 10 minutes. Let me going to give it another 10 minutes. I was going to skewer it, but I'm not. So we'll bring you back. The banana bread is finished. So earlier when I took my bread out, I set the oven for an additional 10 minutes. Let it cook for 10 minutes. And I turned the oven off and just left the door open. But when I initially checked it, it still had like a little bit of wetness or uncooked on the skewer that was pulled out. So the oven is nice and cool. It's only been about 20 minutes or so. And the bread has risen nicely. Can you guys see that? Wow. See that? It looks like it might be a little dry. I don't know, but I'm going to test it. I have my bread right here cooling. So this is why I love these silicone molds. It just pulls it right out. Here's a piece. I don't know, guys. I may have needed some more moisture. It browned too much on the bottom. I don't know if you can see that. This is the loaf. So I'm going to sit it next to the bread and let it cool. And I'll give it a taste test. I'll bring you guys back. And we'll taste it with something. Maybe a cup of coffee or whatever. I couldn't wait. So I'm just going to cut a little piece off right here. And see. It's dark in the inside. I can taste the banana. I can taste the whole wheatness of it. It's not as sweet as it would be if you bought it out the store. It's not really dry, but it's not moist either. As moist as I would like it. Oh, I could have used more cinnamon, but I think I can do this recipe again, and I would use all soft white wheat. And again, it's not as sweet as what you would find in the store, but I'm happy nonetheless. So there you have it. I'm chewing banana bread made with freshly milled flour. And it's delicious. Until next time, guys, keep watching.